What is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic evening. It is schedule drop night, and I cannot wait to go over what is to be the 49ers schedule. It is one thing to have the opponents, it is a complete other thing to know when the games are played, who they're playing coming off of bye weeks, etc. So, we're going to hit this intro and we will get right into it. All right, welcome back to Last Second Sports, where we are giving you our take down to the last second, and it is schedule release night. I'm so excited for this. Nobody puts on a show like the NFL puts on a show on a night when there is NBA playoffs. Nobody cares because schedule release. We got a schedule release, and there have been leaks all day. If you've been following along on the community page within YouTube, I've been updating the schedule leaks throughout the day. It does look like we have a final schedule for every team, at least from a leaked perspective. This is not official, so keep that in mind. However, I will say the two folks that put this together last year, they were about 90% correct across the entire league. So they're not going to be 100% accurate. We'll see if maybe some games are moved around, what have you. But for now, there is a schedule out for the 49ers and the rest of the league. We will get to that in a second. What is up, Popeye? See you. Jason, how are you? Ramon. Nicholas. Okay. All right. How you just buying tickets pre? That's kind of crazy. What's up, Rick? I see you. Alan. Okay, okay. Jay Fig, I see you. Okay. Let's look at this schedule. Let's look at this schedule. What's up, Dave? Let's look at this schedule as far as what we think the schedule is going to be. All right. So, as of right now, this is the leaked schedule for every single team. Again, this is not 100% correct. The two folks that put this together last year were about 90% accurate. Um, I don't remember what they missed, if any, on the 49ers. That's just league wide. They had about a 90% hit rate. So there's going to be some misses here. This is not official, but this is what they've gathered. These folks do a great job putting this together, so appreciate them. And we will run through this schedule, some of the highlights, the lowlights, kind of talk through it. I will say bye week 1 is tough for me. The bye week, they've got a bye week in week 14. When the 49ers were good, and I knew they were good, number 1 seed worthy good, I always preferred a late bye week, because if they didn't get the number 1 seed, even if they did, it was nice to have that extra bye late in the season to kind of get refreshed. And then if they were the number 1 seed and they got the bye again in the playoffs, you knew that they were going to cruise. They were going to be in great physical condition. But when I look at a bye week in week 14 right now, let me be clear. I would prefer a week 14 bye week versus a week 5 bye week, which I think is the earliest you can get. Give me that all day long. But I'm looking at a team that is going to count on a lot of rookie players. Rookie players tend to hit the wall at some point during the season. Well, there's nothing that's going to make them hit the wall faster than a bye week in week 14 and playing 13 weeks of grueling football back to back to back. So that is something that is a little bit of a concern for me. But I will also say, we talk about a bye week differentiator and rest differentiator. A lot of people bitched about that last year. I don't see it this year. The only one that I see is the Rams here in week 10. They'll be coming off of a bye. If this is accurate, they'll be coming off of a bye. But that's it. Every other team, in fact, the 49ers, they play a Thursday night football game. So for them, they'll get the rest differentiator. I don't see it across this schedule. I don't see where the rest leans in the favor of their opponent this year like it did last year. So you've got a quote unquote easy schedule on paper. You've got a late bye week. You don't have the rest discrepancy that you had last year. This team has no excuses but to go out and execute and get into the playoffs, period. Like that, when I look at how this thing played out, assuming this is accurate, this couldn't have gone any better. They are right where they need to be, right where they need to be. I would say the only thing that I would argue is if they had the bye week, like week 10, something like that. But other than that, they're in really, really good shape. So as I go through this schedule, you start out with 4 of your first 6 games are on the road. That is a little bit tough, but the opponents are not extremely tough. Seattle, that's a division game. I don't like division games week 1, I'll tell you that, just because, and not just, this is not just a 49er thing, but just an NFL thing. There's so much riding on division games that to have them week 1 is tough because we know that there are always strange things that happen in week 1, especially early on in the season in totality, but week 1 especially. We see teams that are good throughout the rest of the season look terrible week 1. We see bad teams look good. It happens every single year. So having this many division games across the NFL in week 1 is awesome from a casual viewer perspective. But to me, as far as what it means for the rest of the season in playoff seeding, home field advantage, that type of stuff, winning your division, I'm not a big fan of it. But such is life. The 49ers are certainly not the only ones going through it. We've got a ton of teams playing divisional opponents in week 1. So 49ers are no different. They start out at Seattle. I will say, playing Seattle early on in the season, a September game at Seattle, you're not going to have to deal with any rain. It's not going to be raining that time of season there. So you dodged one there. That's good. That's a really good thing. Then you go to New Orleans, who they might be fighting for the number 1 spot, number 1 pick next year. That team is not good at all. And New Orleans is going to be at home. Sure, travel sucks. I get it. But that's an awful team who is likely going to be starting a rookie quarterback. That'll be his second start, and Robert Saleh is going to cook up something nice. So I love that. Then you come home, you get Arizona at home, another division game. That's tough. If I look at Arizona, they will have played Carolina the week before at home. So not a lot of travel for them. They're going to start the season in New Orleans. Then they play Carolina at home, and then they travel to San Francisco. But that team, I mean, that's a toss-up game, probably, division game. Then you get Jacksonville at home. You get to stay at home for 2 games in a row. Jacksonville is not a very good team, at least on paper. So I like that. Then you got a Thursday night football game against the Rams. Now, the Rams have a home game, 2 home games in a row. They'll play Indianapolis the week before. They'll probably be coming off a win. The 49ers will likely be coming off of a win. And then we got to go to LA, which is short travel, Thursday night football. You never know. I will say playing the Rams on Thursday night football early in the season, I would rather play them Thursday night football later in the season just because Matthew Stafford, who knows how healthy he's going to be. He's getting older. I think there was a portion last year where his arm got a little fatigued and he didn't play at the level that he should. So it would be nice to play them a little bit later on that Thursday night football, but we'll take it. We're both going through the same thing. Then you've got the rest differential here. You've got Tampa Bay. Now the Bucks the week before are going to be at Seattle. So they're going to go East Coast to West Coast, back to the East Coast. The 49ers will have the extra 3 or so days of rest coming off a Thursday night football game. They'll be right here in Tampa. I'll be at that game. Look forward to it. I think Tampa's a really, really good team. Quite frankly, I think Tampa's a better team on paper than the 49ers, but I like having the rest in the 49ers' favor. I do. Now, at Tampa makes it a little bit tougher, but I will also say October, Not as hot as it will be in September. There will be some humidity, I'm sure, that time of year. And it can be rainy season still a little bit. So you might get some rain. We'll see how that plays out. But not as hot and not as rainy as it would have been if this was a week 2 game, which for a moment there, it did look like they were going to play Tampa week 2. So again, we're going off of the assumption that these are all correct. We'll know soon, next 20 minutes or so, we're going to know for sure. But if these are correct, I like that there. And then you come home, Sunday Night Football. Now, the 49ers have 5 primetime games, which is more than I expected this year. I really expected maybe 4. The fact they've got 5. Not a big fan of their opponents, though. I think I'm a fan from the perspective that I think the 49ers will win most of these games. But as far as being like a straight football fan and in the best possible matchups, the Rams is a great Thursday night football game. But Atlanta, Sunday night football, you've got Chicago, Sunday night football, you've got the Colts, Monday night football, and Carolina, Monday night football. I'm worried that these games might get flexed out later in the season. I don't know. Chicago, I think will probably stay, but Indianapolis, they're probably going to be toast by then. So to me, that game could get flexed. I don't know. Just something to pay attention to. Not a big fan of the primetime games. I'm a little surprised, quite frankly, that those are the teams that are going to be playing in primetime games. It makes me worried about the rest of the Monday night football schedule, which I guess I could technically go see who they are. But either way, that is what we've got. Now, after Atlanta, so you go Tampa, Atlanta at home, then you got to go to Houston and to New York. Now, I will say I think this is going to be a tough little stretch here. Houston, I think, is going to be a pretty good team overall. At that point, they'll be pretty battle tested. Houston will have played the Rams, the Bucks, Baltimore. They'll have their bye week, and then 2 weeks later they'll play Seattle and then the 49ers. But again, I like that Houston is traveling to Seattle the week before, so that's good. They'll go west and then come back down south. So that's going to be a tough game for sure. And then I think at New York's going to be a tougher game than what people realize as well. First of all, early November, it's starting to get a little bit cold. You might get some rain. We'll see. That turf sucks. So let's pray that we stay healthy for one. But that defensive line might be the best defensive line in football as far as getting after the quarterback goes. It's a really good defensive line. And if Russell Wilson's starting, we know 49ers struggle against Russell Wilson. It's just the way that it's always been. So that might be a tougher game than what we expect. And then we've got the Rams coming off of their bye week right here, which certainly would be a tough matchup. I think that's probably a scheduled loss if that is the case, but we're at home. So I will take that. Then you've got another division game. You've got Arizona. The Cardinals will have played Seattle the week before. They will have had a bye week a few weeks prior. And then you get to play Carolina at home on this will be Monday Night Football. Yeah, Monday Night Football. Then at Cleveland. This game worries me. This game actually worries me. This is end of November. So we know it's going to be cold. We know it could be raining. That defense, if anything, that defense is pretty stout still. And you're on a 13 straight weeks of playing football before your bye week. That game actually does worry me. I think that would be a loss, honestly. I know it sounds crazy now, but I would look at that as probably a loss if that is how it plays out. Then you've got your bye week, and I love the way they end after their bye week. I think they'll be feeling great. You get a pretty bad Tennessee Titans team at home. Then you get to go to Indy, but you don't play till Monday night. Then you don't play till Sunday night, which is great, at home versus Chicago. And then you round out versus the Seahawks. But 3 of the final 4 games are home games off of a bye, couple primetime games. I feel great about the way the final 4 games play out. So for me, I like the schedule. If this is truly what it is. If this is truly what it is. So let me run through it. I'll give you my win losses, and then um, we'll see what the actual schedule is. That's got to be dropping here pretty soon. So, and in the chat, why don't you guys put in the chat what your thoughts are if this is the schedule, what you think. But I'm going to go at Seattle. That's going to be tough. I'm going to go win. I'm going to go win. They're new offensive coordinator, new quarterback, a lot of new things going on in Seattle. I like that matchup. So I will go win there at New Orleans. That's a win. Versus Arizona. I think they're going to split with Arizona. So I'll say win there because that's at home. Jacksonville, that's a win. Rams. I'm going to say that's a loss. I'm going to say they lose to the Rams, lose to the Bucks. They beat Atlanta. They're going to lose one of these two games. I just don't know which one. So Houston Giants, I don't know which one, but I think they'll lose one of those games. I think the Rams are going to sweep them again this year. So I'm going to go another loss to the Rams. Remember, the Rams are coming off of a bye week here. At Arizona, that's another loss. I think they're going to split with Arizona. Carolina, they'll beat. Cleveland, I think, is going to be a loss, believe it or not. Again, 13 weeks in a row playing football. You're in Cleveland late November. I don't know what the weather will look like there. I think the team's going to be super tired coming into their bye week. So that's their fifth loss. I think they beat the Titans out of the bye. They beat the Colts out of the bye. Let's see. Chicago, these two final ones are toss-ups. But I'll go win-win. I think they're actually going to beat Seattle. So I've got, let's see. Lost to the Rams, lost to the Bucks, lost to either Houston or the Giants, lost to the Rams again, lost to Arizona, lost to Cleveland. So I've got 11 and 6. 11 and 6. That's what I've got the 49ers doing this year, 11 and 6. Just on the surface, if that is the schedule, that is how I think it's going to go down. So I think we split in the division. We go 3-3. I think we beat Seattle both times. I think we split technically with Arizona, and I think we get swept by the Rams. So I'm going to go 11 and 6. That is the record that I have for the 49ers. You think so? What am I missing here? Again, I have an interesting loss against Cleveland. I think most people on paper are going to be like, oh, they're going to beat Cleveland. Cleveland sucks. Listen, Cleveland might suck. I'm not saying that they won't. But at the same time, 13 straight weeks of football, and then you're at Cleveland in potential bad weather. That's I don't like that. I don't like that. So, I can't wait for this, Brandon. I cannot wait. Behind enemy lines is going to be lit. Going to be lit coming into the season. I can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. We only play 17 games. So do you mean 16-1 or 18-0 or 17-0? 16-1 or 17-0? No, we're not going to get swept in our whole division. That's crazy. Yeah, and that's the problem is we don't know for sure the weather will be bad, but I've got to assume that the weather's not going to be great in Cleveland late November, and I've also got to assume that this team's going to be exhausted playing 13 straight weeks of football. So, yeah, I think 11 and 6 is about where I'm at. I think they peak at 12 and 5, and I think that they realistically they could finish 9 and 8. I think is the floor. So I'll go 9 and 8 floor, 12 and 5 peak, and I've got them at 11 and 6. We got swept by them last year, BP. In fact, we got swept by the whole division. So is it that crazy to say that they're going to get swept by the Rams? You go look at that roster. Tell me that's not a good roster. We play the second game. Rams are coming off their bye week. That's one. And then the first game is a Thursday night game. Again, I'm not saying that they for sure lose, but that's my prediction. Coming off of a bye week, I mean, I'm sorry. If that's the case, we're not winning that game, even if it's at home. We're not winning coming off of their bye week. We're just not, in my opinion. So the fact that we got swept last year in the whole division and I got us going 3-3, I think is pretty fair. I think it's pretty fair. So yeah, I mean, if we have injuries, I guess I mean, you never know. I mean, technically, you have injuries. 7 and 10's a possibility. You're fully healthy. You don't have any injuries. Maybe you can win 13 games. I just think the ebbs and flows of a season. I think realistically, 9-8 is the floor. I think 12-5 is the ceiling, and I got them at 11-6. So yeah, I do. I think we sweep the Seahawks. I do. Hey, Michael Williams just signed a fully guaranteed contract. That is great news. That is great news. Who didn't get swept in the division? Oh, you're right. They beat Seattle. They went 1-5. My bad. Ooh, 1-5. How could I forget their one amazing win they had in the division? They got swept by the Rams. How about that? So acting, I guess my point is acting as if I'm crazy for glazing the Rams. The Rams got better. They got better this offseason. Clearly got better. They were 2-0 against the 49ers last year. And if this schedule is right, they play the 49ers one of their two games coming off of a bye week. Yeah, I'm going to pick in that scenario the Rams to sweep the 49ers. And it's not glazing the Rams. It's just being honest with what I'm seeing. So yeah, they've got a really good defense. That's the thing is Cleveland is going to have a good defense and the weather could be crappy. So that worries me. That worries me. Is it though? Level 7, is it? I don't know that I agree with that. I don't know that I agree with that. I think they have some spots that are better for sure. I think that they're a good team, but no, bro, they're not. Their roster's not so stacked that this is insurmountable. That is not the case. And quite frankly, the 49ers are coached at a much higher clip. So, uh, Cardinals NFC, huh? All right. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think we sweep Seattle personally. Just because, again, a lot of it is circumstantial, right? It's not just about who you play, it's when you play them. Week 1, they've got a new quarterback, a new offensive coordinator, and a new receiving room. I think that's going to be tough to overcome. I think it's going to be tough to overcome. And then we play in week 18 at home, and we will have had a late bye week and 3 of 4 games at home to end the season. So to me, this isn't necessarily about who the better team on paper is that always wins. If that was the case, I wouldn't pick us to lose against Cleveland, right? That would be a win. But it's when these games are played and the circumstances surrounding them. So to me, I think we play Seattle the exact right times. Exact right times. So yeah, I see. Really? Okay. I just went through it. If this is the right schedules, guys, the rest differential is not a thing this year. We play one team coming off a bye, that's the Rams, and then we have a Thursday night football game against the Rams, and that means we get the rest differential traveling to Tampa in our favor, and that's it. There's no other than like a day because we play on a Monday night football game. The rest differential thing doesn't seem to be a factor whatsoever. So you get, if this is true, you've got an easy schedule. You've got rest differentials, not a problem, and you got a late bye week. You've got to make the playoffs here. You've got to make the playoffs. So, oh, schedule release. Here it is. Let me show you this real quick. All right, we'll turn it up. We'll watch it together. Let's see. You guys tell me, can you hear that? Did you hear that when I played it? You guys let me know. Can you hear that? Yes or no? I know you guys are on a delay. No? Okay. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Share screen. All right. How about now? How about now? You should be able to hear it. Hey, my audio's on point, all right? Calm down. I always sound good. All right, you should be able to hear it now. Let's go. Here it is, 49ers official schedule release. Why'd I think that was juice? That was juice for a second. I'll get to super chats in a minute, Dylan. I'll get to them. Appreciate you. So Seahawks week 1 and week 18. So far the schedule's got it. Okay, Saints. So far so good. Cardinals week 3, yep. Duval. Can I say this? I say this every year, and I'm going to say it again. The 49ers suck at a schedule release. This is trash. I'm sorry. This is trash. think the schedule people got it right. I don't think they've gotten one wrong yet. So I think we had it. Yeah, they got the schedule right, man. That schedule leak is on, it looks like. Yeah, Colts. What, them Bears and Seahawks? Okay, here. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me match this up with what I had here. Okay, so Seattle, Saints, Arizona, Jags, Rams, Bucks, Atlanta, Texans, Giants, Rams, Cardinals, Panthers, Browns, bye week, Titans. Yeah, they had the full schedule right. They were 100%. 100% correct. So we'll just watch it here in a second. Oh, is this might be the uniforms though. This might be worth it because we might see these new unis. Here we go. Here we go. New unis. Come on. Come on. Again, I say this every year. It's not that big of a deal. But dude, 49ers schedule release is trash. So bad. Their social media team is buns. So buns. My gosh, man. All right. Well, schedule was right. So we got that going for us. We definitely have that going for us. Okay. Well, let's do this. Back to the schedule, I guess. There we go. There's our schedule. In case you guys are wondering, we're verified. Let's get to these supers real quick. Sir Cash Money says, "Hey Jesse, I've been kind of bummed these last couple of weeks. All this news about the new pope, and nobody ever thought to ask me if I wanted to be the new pope. Nobody cares what I think anymore. That's not nice, man. It's not nice that they did that to you, Sir Cash Money. I'm sorry." Jason says, "Cash, it's the all right. Okay, geez, my gosh." Joseph says, "Looking like an 8-win season. We're getting swept." No. We already talked about this. I see you. Dylan says, "How do you think Arizona does this year? I can see 10 wins." Again, just because the 49ers schedule is correct doesn't mean that Arizona's is. But if it is, New Orleans is a win. Carolina's a win. 49ers loss. I think you split with Seattle. So I'll just say that's a loss. Win. Green Bay, that's a bad matchup for y'all. So I'll go loss. At Dallas coming off a bye. I think Dallas will be better this year, but coming off a bye, that's an advantage for you guys. So I'll go win. I think I had you losing to Seattle the first time, so that's good. And then did I give you guys a loss the first time to the 49ers? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 losses. 4 losses, you lose to Tampa. I think you guys will split with the Rams. So 5 losses, 6 losses. You guys are a 6. You guys are 11-6, 10-7-ish team, I think. That early bye is gonna hurt you, so I'll go 10-7. I think Arizona's 10-7. 10-7. Dave says that was good for 1984. What the F? Did I bump my head? Dude, I don't understand. I really don't get it. Yeah, listen, there is no rest differential issue this year for the 49ers. Just none. So that's good. That's good. I know our bye week is hella late, which normally I like that. I do, but for a young team that's relying on a lot of rookies, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. So, and because of it, I have the 49ers losing to Cleveland going into their bye week. I do have them 11-6, and things don't go as chalk, but I have the 49ers going 11-6, losing to Cleveland going into their bye. Yeah, but that's awesome. But you get the benefit of that on the back end. You come out of the bye week and you get 3 of your final 4 are at home because of it. So that's it's just the way that it goes, man. It's just the way that it goes. Yeah, dude. I hope the new uniforms don't suck either. What do you think, Jason? You think I'm off my rocker? Like you think the 49ers win more than that or lose more than that? Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying too. I like us coming out of the bye, potentially going 4-0. I do like that. So yeah, I think that's fair. You think that's the best we can do? Okay. 10 wins, but I think we need more than that to win the division. For sure. We're not winning the division. The Rams are winning the division. Let's go through the Rams schedule. Houston at home. CJ Stroud's going to be running for his life week 1. That whole offensive line was trash last year. They were like 26th or 27th worst offensive line in football. And they might have gotten somehow worse this offseason. That's crazy. Rams are going to win that one. Rams will win that one. Rams will lose to Philly. Rams will lose to Baltimore. That's 2. Uh, Rams will lose to either Detroit or Tampa. I don't know which one. That's 3. I have them splitting with Arizona, so that's 4. And maybe they split with Seattle, I guess. I don't know. There's a game in here I'm not catching, but I think the Rams are 12-5. I think we're 11-6. Cardinals are 10-7. I think Seattle, they're going to lose twice to us. They're going to lose to Tampa. They're going to split with AZ. Seven. I think Seattle's probably 9-8. I think Seattle finishes last in the division. So Seattle 9-8. Cardinals 10-7. 49ers 11-6, and Rams 12-5. Yeah, I think it's about right. One game either way, all these teams could lose or win one more game than what I'm saying, but that's roughly how I feel just coming out of it. It's roughly how I feel coming out of it. I think if it plays out like I said, the bye week, if they can run the table out of the bye week, you make the playoffs on a 4-game winning streak, having a rest not too long ago. You never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but in the I mean, the 49ers drafted to stop the run. You know what I mean? They drafted completely to stop the run. So feel good. I feel good about it. I feel good about it. Remember Kendrick? They had Kendricks and then he changed his mind. Black Yoshi says the Niners had a really crappy situational football plagued them last year in the fourth quarter with their division games. You hope their one score luck gets better. Yeah, games are going to be tight. Games are going to, and this is the thing about this year. And this is where, like, Brock Purdy right now in the fourth quarter in games that the 49ers are losing in his career has 5 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions. It's not good. And these games, regardless, win, lose, whatever, you're probably going to be in, like, I would say minimum 12 one-score games this year. Like, you're going to have to win in tight games. You're going to have to win in tight games. You might blow a couple out. You might get blown out a couple times. But more so than ever, this team, the talent level the 49ers are at right now, they're going to be in tight games for a majority of the year. And that is not something that they are used to. And learning how to win in those situations is going to be super important. So I completely agree with this. I completely agree with this. Here, there we go. Actually, that was a little weird there. I completely agree with this. Um, that's the only way it's going to change is if they want it to change. I watched Lombardi when the Niners win and watch Grant if they lose. All right. Yeah, this will be huge. This will be huge. Trust me, 3 rookies on the D line. You want 2 veteran linebackers for sure. The kicker. Yeah. But it's not just the kicker. This team in general didn't execute down the stretch of games last year. They didn't. So it is. It's hella late. But it's better than being early. I'd rather have it late than early. Yeah, it's not gonna see. Here's the thing, and this is where 49er fans have to understand. We get so mad at rest differential and all these other things. Did you know, and I'm sure most of you do, but did you know that the 49ers request from the league not to play early home games? They request to be on the road early on in the season, like first couple weeks of the season. And usually the league obliges them. And the reason they do that is because Levi Stadium was built so terribly in the direction that it sits that their fans sit in the sun and bake on one side of that stadium. So they try to do their fans a favor and they ask to play on the road early on in the season. So the league obliges them, but that means that they're not going to get every little thing. If they have to start out that way based off their request and the league says, "Yeah, you're good, we'll do that for you," you're going to get screwed somewhere. This is the 49ers doing. You're never going to have a perfect schedule. This is about as close to perfect as you can get. You don't have an early bye week. You've got easier opponents. You've got the easiest schedule in the league based off of last year's how teams finished. You don't have an early bye week. You don't have crazy rest differential issues. Bunch of teams coming off of bye weeks. You got one. That's it. I mean, this is as good as you can ask for. So the 49ers better cook with this schedule. They better cook. They better be competing for the division and they better make the playoffs. Period. And if they don't, that's a them problem. That is not the league, nothing. They did them a lot of favors. They did him a lot of favors, man. A lot of favors. Yeah, I plan on it. The problem is I got to figure out somebody that has season tickets that can get me tickets this year. Um, Getting them on my own is almost impossible. They sell out so quick. David used to get them for me when he had season tickets, but he no longer has season tickets. A lot, like the three people that I would normally get them from, they all sold their season tickets this year, all of them, because the prices were going up so much. So if you know somebody that has season tickets, point me in their direction so that I can get to camp. Usually those apps don't sell camp tickets. So yeah, I mean I think everybody did. A lot of people kept selling, were selling their tickets. So we'll see. I would like to go for sure. And if I can get tickets, I will 100% be there. But I'm not going to travel across the country and hope that I can get in. So I've got to know. I will say this: games that I plan to go to, obviously here in Tampa, that's a no-brainer. It's right down the street. And then Chicago. So get this. Their backup quarterback, Tyler Badgett, I think his name is. His dad is a professional arm wrestler. Well, I've got a friend who is an arm wrestler himself, professional arm wrestler. He ranks like third in the world. Um, he's friends with Tyler Badgett's dad, and they can get on-field access to any game they want. So I'm going to try to go to this game at Levi, get on-field access, like everything, sit in the suites with the family, all that stuff. The problem is that I'd be in enemy territory and I would be in a suite with the family members of the Chicago Bears. So if I do that and I go to that game and I want to get all that access, I can't be a 49ers honk at that game. So that's what makes it tough. So I don't know. I don't know if I can actually do that. Um, I draw the line at wearing the team gear. I will not wear any Chicago Bears gear. That's for damn sure. But it would be hard to go to a game and not cheer for the team that you want to cheer for and just kind of sit on your hands. I guess it would be similar to being a press member, right? You can't cheer in a press box. So I guess that's how I would have to treat it. But it would be a cool experience because I would get a lot of on-field access pre-game. So that would be pretty dope. But yeah, so Chicago, potentially Tampa, and then I don't know. I'm sure I'll find another game that I want to go to throughout the year. Houston, maybe. I mean, that's the other thing too, is like I want to see good teams. I don't want to just go to see the 49ers. Of course, I want to see the 49ers, but I want to see good teams. So the schedules, there's just not a lot of good teams. Like I already saw the Rams. I've seen them in person, saw them last year. Maybe Arizona, I guess. Care less about Seattle. Tennessee, Cleveland, no. Giants, don't care. Tampa, I'm already going to because it's here. I've been to Jacksonville. It's a crap hole. Uh, Houston, I think, was the only team that I would actually want to see. So maybe that game. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's weight divisions, isn't it? No, it's not chance. It's not chance. That's not the case, mate. It's not chance. Um, I can tell you're an arm wrestler though in your picture. I honestly don't know. He might, I mean, obviously he might not be ranked 3 right now. I don't know. But I know he's been high. I know he's been as high as 3. But so I mean the same thing. You probably shoot, I'm sure that you know Tyler Badgett's dad too, right? You're in those circles. So there you go. Also though, my buddy doesn't live in Florida, he lives in Arizona. And he's a lefty. See if you can figure it out, Danny. He's a lefty, he's bald, and he lives in AZ. You tell me if you can figure it out. Lefty, bald, lives in AZ, and he puts on a lot of events himself. Super funny guy. I'm going to see if you can figure it out. Let's see if you can figure it out. This one's tough, man. This one's tough. Should they extend him before the season begins? I think he's going to want to ride it out. He's coming off of a near 1,000 yards. He's coming off of a near 1,000 yards. And he might be the number one receiver this year for the 49ers by default. I think he's going to want to play it out. I do. I think that he wants to get paid. And he already knows that he did the 49ers a favor by signing that 2-year deal. So, I don't know. I think when you draft a receiver in round 1, the way that the 49ers did, and you pay another receiver, I think you've probably just got to let him walk. I do. The Tampa Bay game is the best game outside of the division. Go to the Baker versus Brock game. Yeah, that's a really good game. I will be there though. I live in Tampa. So I will for sure be at that game. So over the top, yeah. Yep, that's the one. I'm trying to see if the arm wrestler guy in here, if he knows my buddy. I know that he has to if he's professional. He definitely knows him. I just want to know if he can guess him. Can you guess him? I gave you a lot of hints, man. A lot of hints. I don't even know. Is that from the movie? Is that from the movie? All right. So here's the official schedule for the 40. You know what we should do? Let's do this real quick. Let's look at some other teams. What they did here. The 49ers schedule release sucked. We watched that together. I heard that the Cardinals were going to have a good one. Let's see what theirs is all about, huh? Ooh, okay. Okay. Arizona, I see you. Let's see what Arizona is all about. Let's check out their schedule release. Here, let's remove this. Stop screen share. We got to add it again. Share it. Okay. Oops. All right, here we go. Let's see what the Cardinals look like here.
What's up, my boy? Workflow. You know what time it is? The man is in the building.
Storm coming.
Here's what's going to suck. I'm going to play this song and I'm going to get a copyright strike for this. Jeez. All right. YOLO, right?
It's gonna be coming, better get it right. Yeah. Bird gang. Yes. K1 told me what's the play. Let's fine tune some things, then we off the Tampa Bay. Love the Superdome on the road against the Saints. Cheese in the safe at the crib, Green Bay. Get in the field, you know the boys make it happen. Brought the heat with us cause it get cold in Cincinnati. The Bird Gang at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Another fight I came, cowboy hat cause we in Dallas. Yeah, we scrap it up, get ready to battle. Hit so hard like we had 12 men, we in Seattle. Levi's on, quick trip to the 49ers. Before I leave the house, I made sure I grabbed my Bible. Told bro to tighten up, cause Tennessee home. The next week could be a division opponent though. So fly, LA on the road. And Lucas all against the coast, it'll be a show. Now we on to the bye week. Time to relax here with the fam and get off our feet. But you best believe I'm locked in on the next week. The Jag came to our home, I told coach to send me. 1, 2, 3, knock him down. 4, 5, 6, in and out. 7, 8, 9, tap out. You wonder what the hype out, then come around and find out. 1, 2, 3, knock him down. 4, 5, 6, in and out. 7, 8, can't forget the bye week through week 18. Check the schedule, we on timing. Start the day right, you know the guys locked in. OTAs overturn when I'm in action. Team over you, we ain't never lacking. JG put us to the test, you know the boys answer. This ain't Carolina, in the desert against the Panthers. Hit them then, help them up, my mama taught me manners. Here go the cards, Ram Niners, then Seattle. It's Bobby early, gotta come back and go make a run. Team over you, the guys stick together as one. Back-to-back games on the
For those that are just joining, this is the Cardinal schedule release.
road and we ain't fearing none. I'm running in the desert, back to back, we'll get it done. Coach always say, never put yourself over the team. Some of the best in the league, we got a great scheme. 8-5, heard enough, you running up the scene. Don't get my all and hit them hard like I'm 2 B's. Start the season off at home, we gon' end it here too. Or we can end it on the road, I believe in my crew. Even through the storm, we gon' stay true. The rocket ship taking off in 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, knock them down. 4, 5, 6. In and out. 7, 8, 9, tap out. You wonder what the hype out, then come around and find out. 1, 2, 3, knock them down. 4, 5, 6, in and out. 7, 8, can't forget the bye week through week 18. Check the schedule, we on timing. We international, you ever known around the country. They 3 and out, they ain't scored, make them punt a touchdown. And Houston tell them Texas boys running. In the field, look out for 2, you know I'm hunting. We international, you ever known around the country.
It was all right. It was better than the 49ers, that's for sure. You know who always is good? Chargers usually have a good one. I will say this. All right. Yes or no, chat? You got to let me know. Yes or no? For those of you that are a little bit older, at least born in the 90s, were they or were they not an urban team? The 49ers were 100% an urban team. Yes or no? Back in the day, were the 49ers not 100% an urban team? You guys let me know. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What the hell happened? Why do I feel like the 49ers are like they're a team that plays at a country club now? How did that happen? Seriously. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I just feel like we're a country club team now, to be real with you. Chargers always do a good job. They did a video game theme as well. They went Minecraft. Let's see what theirs looks like. I'm just, if I'm going to trash on the 49ers media team for another year, which they completely deserve it, their schedule release sucked again. The Chargers usually kill it, so I'm going to go to the Chargers to see what they did. Hey, you figured it out. Yes, Tim, you figured it out. I don't know what he's ranked now. I know back in the day he was ranked pretty high, but you figured it out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tim's a funny dude, isn't he? That dude's hilarious. All right, here we go. Chargers schedule release. They went video game theme too, so let's see if they did better than the 49ers. So stupid, but it's good.
Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Go get him, Mike. Hustle in there.
See what I'm saying? This is so much better. So much better execution. They add like little things in the corner here. They like throw in little jabs throughout the whole thing. Here, let's go. Look at it. Uh-oh, running empty. Richardson ran out of gas because he took himself out of the game last year. You remember that? Tapped his helmet as a quarterback and left the game. Dude, this is hilarious. There's so many little barbs that they throw in their schedule release. It's great. See what I mean? So much better. So much better. Duval.
My God! That's my God!
This is good. Every year they crush this. Dude. They had the fake CJ Stroud picture. That's hilarious. See what I mean? This is execution right here. This is how you execute a schedule release. I don't want to hear anybody be like, the 49ers, they really tried. No, they suck. Every year they suck at it. Gosh, dude, that was so much better. So much better. And I'm 100% going to get a copyright claim for sure for this. But it was worth it to tell you how bad the 49ers are at their schedule releases. They're so buns. So buns. No, I don't want to play the 49ers again. It's awful. So bad. All right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a game choice in the humor. Like, they add in little jabs. They had CJ Stroud. They had the fake CJ Stroud. Again, these are like little inside jokes. If you know, you know. They had Anthony Richardson running out of gas in a race. He tapped himself out of a game last year. Just little things like that. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. Rams did a good job too. Oh, God. Let's see what the Rams did. Okay, here we go. Let's see. See what the Rams did.
Okay, when the Rams called to offer me a job, I thought it was to be Chris Shula's assistant coach. It was not. But it is to announce the 2025 Rams schedule. So here we go. First, Houston comes to SoFi Stadium, and this time it's not for a Beyonce concert. Hopefully the Rams Texas Hold'em to 0 points. Beyonce, I would like 1 ticket, please. A viral clip on social media left lots laughing this week with local Tennessee residents playing a guessing game. Let's take a look.
The Flamin' Hot Teas?
Is that the team from Houston?
No, I got it. It's the Grand Rapid Tetons, yes.
Oof, so close. Like 1 yard away from a touchdown as time expires to win the Super Bowl close. And now to field reporter Jared Verse for his feelings on Philadelphia. If I were to guess, the feeling is mutual. Thanks, Jared. The Colts mascot Blue, half man, half horse, full scary, has been suspended after taking a youth flag football game too seriously. However, the player personnel department liked what they saw and has invited Blue to training camp to help on special teams. Next up, the Niners. They've had a lot of roster turnover this season, but I'm here to remind you, it's not about the name on the back of the jersey. It's knowing whoever wears the jersey is going to be annoying as hell. In 1996, a poll was conducted over the phone in Baltimore for ideas on what to call.
I mean, they kind of got us there.
Their NFL team. A record number of fans supported, you guessed it, a dark, moody bird, because nothing makes me think hard-nosed football like Edgar Allan Poe. The Rams joined the Jags in London this year. Here to give us his best Duval in a British accent, Taran Killam. Taran?
Duval.
Then it's the bye week. No pointing to roast or break down. So here's a picture of Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua. Breaking news. There has finally been a ruling over the controversial no call in the 2018 Rams NFC Championship game. By me. It's been 7 years. Grow up. There has been a surge in boombox sales in the Bay Area recently. And for those who don't know, a boombox is an oversized radio that was a pop culture staple in the 80s and the early 90s. The early 90s is also when the 49ers last won the Super Bowl. Seahawks make their annual migration to SoFi Stadium, but don't worry, we won't leave 3 deep in a zone, bringing the nickel off the edge with the safety drop down in a replacement zone, and the back away with 3 pushing through for you, Cooper. It is time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to come out west, and for that report, we go live to former Florida man, but not in a weird way, Braden Fisk. Braden?
Wait, this isn't a Rich Eisen interview?
It is not. Thanks, Braden. The Rams travel east to Carolina to take on the Panthers, where they'll see a lot of familiar faces. Austin Corbett, Ashawn Robinson, Christian Roseboom, Nick.
All right, I'm not sitting through all that. That wasn't very good either. Still better than the 49ers. At least they took shots at other teams. The 49ers did none of that. But, Chargers still the best. Chargers is good. Arizona's is pretty good. Let's see what the Seahawks did. Hey, what's up, Brandon?
We in Seattle, baby. Yes, sir. Shout out to that.
Hawkstar Spoon is back, and he's making noise.
We in Seattle, baby. Yes, sir. Shout out to the 12s. Y'all know how we
But
do.
he's under attack. The Minnesota Viking, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and the Arizona Cardinal. Is Spoon cooked? No. It's Hawks legend Steve Largent with Power Hand. For the 50th, we're bringing you an all-pro squad of action-packed legends like Tez Rex with Dino Power Tail Whip and supersized Big Walt Jones. Now that sketchy cat from the Jags is littering on the field.
We don't do no littering over here, man. Put your trash in the garbage.
Go Hawks! Uh-oh, it's the Falcons, Saints, Panthers, Colts, Texans, Commanders, Steelers, and the mighty Tennessee Titans. But they're no match for Bam Bam Cam's Bam Bam Van. And who's riding along? It's Marshawn. Get off me, he says. Just a baby stiff arm. Oh, that's gonna get him a fine. Fine money not included. The Hawks can get some supercharged R&R with the feature-loaded Mobile Command HQ playset, including a Bavarian karaoke lounge and a fully functioning bathroom from the Kingdom, featuring powdered soap and smoothie bar with 17 different protein options. And Chad, the smoothie barista.
Hey, I'm Chad. How much protein are we looking to ingest today? Oh, my powders!
Oh no, it's the LA Lambs. Witherspoon jumps into action, and now he's turned his trash talk volume up to 12.
What? I know. Woo! That shit hurt, didn't it? I know what it is. Get up. Don't you ain't gonna get up? I understand though. I choose.
Go Hawks! It's the 49ers, spewing 90s nostalgia. Time for the Hyperock High Velocity Heavyweight Heroic Hunter Supercharged Supreme Sprinting Stealth Sentinel Battle Bot with functioning flamethrower and football missile and football finale missile array. That'll send that worm back to San Jose. Go Hawks! All figures and playsets sold separately. Well, actually, they're not sold at all. This is all fake. Hope we didn't get your hopes up. Well, I mean, if enough people wanted them, it could maybe happen. Anyways, here's the schedule.
Still better than every team in our division did better than us with the schedule release. At least they took shots. The 49ers are like, oh, we don't take any shots. We don't do that. We don't have fun around here. We don't have fun. Anyways, there's some schedule releases around the league. We saw the 49ers. We saw the Chargers. Which was probably the best. Saw every team in the division. All right. I do. I think it's kind of fun. I mean, listen. Okay, this attitude, Alec, is fine, but then don't make one. Like, truly, if you don't care, then don't make one. Right? The 49ers care enough to make one, like every other team, but they don't do a good job at it. I mean, if you're going to do it, do a good job at it. That's all I'm going to say. Like, you're going to do it, so why not make it amazing? I mean, it's pretty simple. Oh, who cares? Obviously, fans like this stuff. Otherwise, teams wouldn't do it. So I would say you're probably in the minority of not caring. Because it sucks year after year. How about make it not suck? How about that? If you make it not suck, then we won't say that it sucks. It's not complaining. It's just being real about what it is. It sucks. It sucks. I'm not complaining. I don't care. It doesn't have any effect on my life. But if I'm going to watch something and the team is trying to entertain its fans, try not sucking at it. It's a very simple concept. I don't understand, like, why, this whole, like, when fans do this crap, where they're like, I'm the best fan because I don't complain about the things that the 49ers do. And you guys that complain, you're just bad fans. Get out of here with that garbage, dude. I hate that attitude. I hate this I'm superior than thou fan because I don't ever bitch about anything. And those of you that complain about stupid stuff like a schedule release, yet you watched it and can't be honest enough to say, yeah, kind of sucks. You win Fan of the Year award. Maybe Brock Purdy will sign something for you and send it directly to your house because you're the best fan in the world. I hate this. I hate it when people act like this. So annoying. So annoying. Like, if you're going to make a video, make it good. It's not that hard. You have a ton of money. You put, it's not even just this. The 49ers social media team sucks. They suck. They just finally started getting a YouTube presence somewhat last year, but go look at the YouTube views on their own channel compared to other teams in the league, dude. They get tossed. They get tossed. Other teams are hiring legitimate content creators, not guys like me, but we're talking top-notch content creators to make content for them or guide their content teams into being the best that they can be to get millions of views. The 49ers put no effort into it. None. So either don't do it, or if you're going to do it, try to be the best at it. How about that? It's pretty simple. It's just pretty simple concept. Why even do anything if you're going to suck at it? They clearly tried to make it dope. It's not like they didn't put a storyline together. They didn't have a theme. They did. They just sucked. But they wanted to be good. Do you think they wanted to suck when they made that? No. They thought it was good, and it wasn't. It was trash. Simple. Simple. You didn't strike a nerve, dude. It's just, it's annoying. When people fan the way that you do, or appear to have in this scenario, Alec, it's annoying. Like, don't be that fan. It's pretty simple. Like, you didn't strike a nerve. It's just annoying. All right. It's probably worth more than that. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is don't come in here and police how other people fan. I don't police how you fan. Don't police how I fan. No, that's not at all what I said. You came in here and told us how to fan, or told me how to fan. Every year it's annoying. Don't, just keep your mouth shut. It's pretty simple. And if you want to tell me how to fan, then you're going to hear it right back. That's what happened. Right? Like, this is another thing. People have responses in life, just in general. People respond or start something in life and then don't understand when somebody reacts at a different level than them. This was a lesson I taught my son the other day. He was talking trash to an older kid the other day, a kid that's like 3 years older than him. They were playing football. He started talking trash because he scored a touchdown on him, and that kid shoved him down. And he's like, dude, what the heck? Like, what? Why did he do that? And I'm like, if you talk trash or you start something with somebody, you don't get to choose at the level they respond. You've opened Pandora's box. Don't get upset if they take it to another level. It's just as simple as that. So you opened Pandora's box and said, the way you fan, I don't like, and you got cooked for it. That's what happened. Facts. It is a good life lesson. I agree. And I still appreciate you, by the way, the fact that you're here. Like, I hope you don't take it personally. But if you were my best friend, I would say the same thing to you over the phone. So, or in person. It's just how I am. So, anyways. Yeah, listen, I don't need all of you guys to chime in. I can protect myself. I can talk for myself. I don't need you guys to like pile in on Alec, like, Alec's a nerd. Blah, blah. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. At least Alec's bold enough to have a profile picture. Most people don't. No offense, Deez. I love you. 5 primetime games. Yeah. So real quick, let me run through this again because it is important and it's been a while since I've done it. So let me share this with you guys. Just real quick. Share screen. Entire screen. Here we go. Share. Okay. Let me pull this off. Stop. Okay, here we go. 49ers schedule. At Seattle, out New Orleans, versus Arizona, versus Jacksonville. At LA, this is a Thursday night football game. At Tampa Bay, versus Atlanta, this is a Sunday night football game, I believe. Yep, Sunday night football. At Houston, at the Giants, versus the Rams, at AZ, versus Carolina, at Cleveland, bye week, versus Tennessee, at Indy, versus Chicago, versus Seattle. I went through it. I have the 49ers finishing 11-6. I have them sweeping Seattle. I have them getting swept by the Rams. I have them splitting with Arizona. I have them losing one of these two games. I have them losing to Tampa. And I have them losing to Cleveland. So that's my 11-6. That's my 11-6. A lot of people wonder about rest differential. The 49ers got a very favorable schedule when it's all said and done. They have the short week against the Rams, but the Rams also have a short week there. Then they get the rest favor playing against Tampa. They do play the Rams the second time around, with the Rams coming off of a bye week. So Rams come off of a bye. That's not ideal, but that's the only team they play coming off of a bye. And then three of the final four games of their schedule, they're at home coming off of a bye. The only gripe that I have from a scheduling standpoint is a late bye week. I would prefer a late bye week over early bye week for sure. But I wish it was a little bit more in the middle. My thought is this: 13 straight weeks is a ton of weeks in a row to play football, especially for a team that's relying heavily on rookies. I think that they're going to peter out a little bit getting into that bye week. So that's the way that I see it. And then they come out of the bye week and I think they're going to cook. So 11-6 is how I have them. I have the Rams finishing 12-5, went through their schedule. I have the Cardinals finishing 10-7, and I have the Seahawks finishing 9-8. I think it's going to be a tight race in the NFC West again. One game, one way or the other. But I do think the Rams win the division. I think the 49ers make the playoffs. So that's how I have it going. That's how I have it going. Alec, listen, it would, but here's what you have to understand. To me, it's all about when games are played. That'll be 13 weeks in a row the 49ers have played football. And it's at Cleveland at the very end of November. So chances are, Alec, it's going to be a crappy weather game into November and against a good defense with your 13th week in a row playing football, and you're at Cleveland. That's why I have it as a loss. 49ers, I think, clearly are a better team than Cleveland, but listen, they were a better team than Cleveland 2 years ago and lost to them. You get some slippery conditions, 13 weeks of playing football in a row. That's why I do it. And that's why I also have a sweeping Seattle. It's not that I don't think Seattle could win a game against the 49ers, but it's when these games are played. Week 1, they've got a new quarterback, new wide receiver room, new offensive coordinator. That favors the 49ers. 49ers win. Week 18, it's at home. 3 out of the final 4 games are home games, and they're coming off of a bye a few weeks earlier. I just think that the way it plays out for the 49ers, it plays out for them to win both those games against Seattle. So that's why I have it the way that I do. But you're right. I mean, it would suck to lose to Cleveland. They're going to lose to a team that you don't expect to, and they're going to beat a team that maybe they shouldn't. Like, that just happens every year for every team. So I'm just trying to get out in front of it and pick it. What's up, Jay? I appreciate you. Papa says, given the parity of the NFL, most teams will lose at least one game you expect them to win. Yep. And vice versa. I think they split with the Rams. Yeah, I mean, they could split with Seattle too. I just think I have them beating Seattle both times, and I have them losing to the Rams. Papa says, I also think Seattle could bottom out like we did last year, and the Cardinals are the Cardinals despite their roster continuing to improve. Yeah. I think, first of all those division games are going to be tough. Whether if you want to say that we split with all the teams in the division, either way, like I have us going 3-3. I just have them losing both to the Rams and beating Seattle both times. And I think Seattle is always just going to be a team that finishes like 9-8. That's just what they do. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm definitely I'm not great at this. Last year I had them going, I think 11-6. They went 6-11. Year before I did have them 12-5, and they were 12-5, but they didn't win and lose the games I expected. So who knows, man? Who knows? The 49ers could be better than 11-6. They could be worse. Injuries. There's so much that plays into it. One thing that does worry me is having a bye week in week 14. I mean, this is a team that is relying on CMC and Trent Williams pretty heavily. I don't think they're going to play 13 straight weeks of football. I don't see it. And so, let's say you're playing against Carolina on Monday Night Football and Trent Williams is out and CMC's out. Like all of a sudden, that game that you were probably set to win becomes a loss. You never know. You know what I mean? You just never know. So it makes it tough. I can, but I can't tell you guys that. For sure, but that Cleveland defense still has a lot of really good players on it. I mean, that defense is pretty stacked. Let's look it up real quick. Browns depth chart. Myles Garrett. Hey, Malik Collins. I didn't know Malik Collins went there. How did I not know that? Malik Collins, Mason Graham. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is out for the year. Jordan Hicks. They've got Jerome Baker, and they drafted Carson Schwessinger. They got Joe Tryon Shrionka. I didn't realize they got him. And they got Shelby Harris. They've got Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, Martin Emerson, Greg Newsome. That secondary's stacked. I mean, they're going to be a good defense. So, for what that's worth, they'll definitely be a good defense. Sure, their offense will suck, but it sucked 2 years. It probably sucked worse 2 years ago than it will this time around. And they were able to get it done. So, and again, 13 weeks in a row, I don't feel like these guys are going to be healthy. The league must have felt Mr. Lynch after last year because we don't see a single team off a bye. We do. We see the Rams. Unless this schedule is wrong, which it could be because this was a schedule, like not a predictor, but like a leak thing. They hit on the 49ers perfectly, but we would play the Rams coming off a bye. That's the one game we would have. Second matchup versus the Rams, they're coming off a bye, and then they play us right after. So that's an advantage. But other than that, no, you're right. For sure. But the reason I have him sweeping us is because we play him in week 5. I mean, if he's going to get hurt, you would expect him to make it there. And then we're going to play him coming off of a bye. So again, we know this is a guy who played with a broken back. To get him off the field, especially coming off of a bye, not going to happen unless it's a real serious injury. And then they got Jimmy Garoppolo. So no, the Jimmy Garoppolo thing's a total joke. But yeah, coming off of a bye, I don't think that favors us. And then we play them early, week 5. So that's why I have them sweeping us. I hope not. I really do. All right, y'all. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go put my kids to bed. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. You guys tell me. Curious to know what your schedule prediction is. I have us 11-6. And we'll see how it goes. I'll be on live tomorrow, Bleacher Report. And yeah, that's right. We lost to PJ Walker. So Texas Ranger. There we go. All right, y'all. Much love. Have a great night. Peace.